Well, welcome to Speech 128 Online. This short video, I'm going to give you an introduction to the course and how to use Canvas to be able to go through and navigate the course, okay? So let's take a look here. When you first log into Canvas, this is what you're going to see. This is like the opening page. And I'm going to show you in student view here, this is what it will look like on your computer, is you will see that this is laid out so that you have items on the left and you've got items on the right. This is the to-do list, things that are coming up that are going to appear on this side right here. Also, messages from me will appear down at the bottom if you have like feedback that I've given you on an assignment. One thing that's important, I think, at the beginning is if you click on your account here in the upper left-hand corner, you can go to notifications and you can set it up so that like if I post something new, it'll give you a ping to your cell phone. Now, this can be very helpful in an online course so that you just stay on top of what's happening. You can set it up so that you can control all sorts of features. You don't want to be notified about every single little thing necessarily that happens on your cell phone, but it's a useful thing to set up. All right, the most important thing is when you get in, go to what are called the modules, okay? And when you click on the modules, you're going to see that the course is laid out like a book with chapters, right? The first section here is called Introduction to the Class. This has got all the basics for how to get started, who to call if you have trouble, everything about the course in terms of how it applies with the college. All of that is all set up here, technology support, all of that. And then you've got a section here about the course, which gives you some more details about getting started. You've got a section called the skill package, which I'm going to go over in some detail. And then you've got chapters 1 through 7, which make up the body of the whole course. And then it comes down to the final at the end. So it's real important to look at the modules, and I would recommend you just go right through them. Make sure you click on each item because each item will have something for you to see or do, okay? All right, the very first thing is in the first day of the class, you want to make sure by Tuesday that you've done the orientation quiz. It's actually super, super easy. It's 5 kind of goofy questions just to make sure that you've started and you're here on board with the class. You'll have no trouble with this, the orientation quiz. And you're going to do that, and then you're also going to do this meet and greet discussion. Now, a word on discussions. If you haven't done discussions in Canvas, let me click on this for you so that you see what's happening here. When you do a discussion, really what you're going to do, maybe in other classes you've done written discussions. In this one, you'll be doing a video discussion where you actually record a video of yourself. And this is an introduction so that we get to know who you are and the rest of the class gets to know who you are. And there's 5 questions here, and just pick 3 of these 5 that you would like to answer, you feel comfortable answering. And then you're going to make a short video, just 30 to 60 seconds long. It's short and sweet, where you break down these questions, and then we'll get to know you a bit better that way, and you get to know the other students in the class. Now, in Canvas, there's a nice, easy way to do the videos, where you don't even need to use your phone necessarily. You can just use, if you have a camera in your computer, you click here where it says reply, right? And then you've got all kinds of options, and the one you want to pick is the one that's right here. It looks a little bit like a musical note. It says record or upload media, right? And when you click on that, you're going to go to upload, record media, and you're going to see that when you click on record, it opens up the camera, and then you can actually give your presentation, speech, or whatever. Just start recording, and then when you're done, you'll finish it. You'll see it, and you just end up it gets posted, right? That's the first part, posting your video. Then you have to respond, right, to at least 3 of your other fellow students' videos. Give them some positive, support, feedback. And you can see there's due dates for these, right? You have to do the first one by the 23rd, and then the postings have to be all wrapped up by the 25th. All right, so that's that on discussions. And you'll see there's actually a few of these embedded in the course. All right, let's go back to the modules. Now, once you've gotten through this first part, you'll be off on sailing, right? We'll be getting into what's called the war story. Now, this is the public speaking part of the course. You're going to give what's called a war story. A war story is really a time when you tell us about something that happened to you where you got into some kind of difficulty or trouble. It could be serious or it could be humorous, but something that happened to you where you're going to break it down as a story. And then you're going to end the video by saying, and so the moral of my story is, and you say what you learned from the experience. This is your speech that's done the same way, where you go to reply. You could also use your phone and upload the video here as well, but I think it's easier to do it this way. Now, to give you some more guidelines on that, if you look back here again under modules, right before here, it says war story speech. There's war story examples. And over the years, we made videos of students actually giving their war stories, right? And you can actually watch some of these. There's actually 120 of them. I find them really fascinating. I think you'll find them interesting too. I recommend just watch like 2 or 3 just to kind of get the idea of what people have done, how it's paced, the kinds of stories people tell. And this will give you a really good sense of how to do this particular assignment. It's really useful. All right, so that's that. So now we're running right along here. We're going to get into this section called the skill package. Now, there is a separate video here on how to do the skill package, because the video explains the whole detail here. It's a little complicated in the sense that it's a pretty big project that you'll be doing that starts the first week of your class, and you're not really done with the skill package until the very last week of class. And so you'll be doing the skill package as you're doing the rest of the chapters of the course. Now, to break it down really simply, in the skill package, what you're going to be doing here is you're going to be choosing from a list of skills, interpersonal communication skills. You're going to pick one that you would like to get better at. There's a list of like 40. You're going to pick one, and then what you're going to do is do a series of 8 activities that are all designed to boost your ability in that particular skill. And each one gets turned in separately. And there's about 2 weeks or so paced between them. So by the end of the course, hopefully you will have improved that particular skill. Again, there's a whole video on how to do this that you'll watch when you get to this a little bit later. Now, while you're doing the skill package, you'll be jumping in and doing the chapters, right? The chapters of the course. All right, so while you're doing the skill package, you will jump in and do the chapters. Now, most of these are organized in the same sort of way. There's chapter 1, there'll be something for you to read. I also made audio versions so that you could listen to the chapter instead of reading it if you like. There's chapter 1 and chapter 2. There's no assignment on chapter 1 until you get through chapter 2. Then there's the assignment is on chapter 1 and 2 together. The stop and think is something that you'll see embedded in the reading, where it'll say in the reading, stop and think, and there'll be a few prompts for you to think about. The idea is in this, when you do these stop and think assignments, you'll be picking one of the prompts and then writing a page responding to that particular prompt. And you have a lot of choice here. You get to pick the prompt you want to use. And then you'll see there's a short quiz on 1 and 2. Same happens for chapter 3, which is about encouraging communication with people and overcoming defensiveness. You'll see it's a similar procedure. Something for you to read, maybe some links to look at, and then there'll be a quiz and a stop and think. Chapter 4 is on nonverbal communication. Same basic layout here. Chapter 5 deals with active listening, how to be a better listener. Same sort of activity. There'll be an activity at the end for you to do after you read and look at the video clips that are here. Then we get into chapter 6, which is conflict resolution, dealing with conflicts. And then finally, communication in difficult situations, where you're communicating with people on things that wouldn't necessarily come up every day, like dealing with someone who maybe has a serious illness or is grieving, how to do the communication process in that type of situation. And then finally, we get to the very end, the chapter, final for the whole course. Now, what we're dealing with here is it's not an exam at the end of the course. It's a one final presentation that you upload, and it's just going to be about what you learned from your skill package, what you got out of the skill package. And you'll see again, I have a link here with all sorts of examples that you can look at of previous students and their final presentations. And then you'll see there's some extra credit activities that you can do as well. Okay, that really wraps up the modules. You've got the basic idea. You can also check other useful links, for example, or grades. You can click here and see what's been graded. And of course, you can reach out to me at any time. All my information is listed in the beginning parts of the modules here. You can text me or email me, or you come to the office hours on Wednesdays and Fridays at 10 in the morning. I look forward to walking you through this whole class and seeing you at the very end. Reach out if you have any questions whatsoever. Thanks a lot.